special on Moon Knight. So I did this favorite comics of 2016 videos, and in the second one, I think I spoke about Jeff Lemire's and Greg Smallwood's Moon Knight and how much I liked it. I forgot the rank. I think it was on number 13 or something. I had read 3 or 4 issues of the run. I jumped right in, I think, with number 6. And now I catched up and read the first volume. And, you know, this happens sometimes. It's when you meet that special something that makes you fly, that makes you forget about your own existence, about yourself being a person at all, or living or thinking anything, even feeling anything. It's you're so immersed in a story, you become part of it, you become what you are reading, and this was one of those transcendental experiences for me. And it's hard for me to tell if it's a highly subjective thing or if this really is one of the greatest comics that I've read in a long time. It's definitely one of the most beautiful ones. Greg Smallwood is not super well known. He did the second volume of the last Moon Knight volume, which started with Warren Ellis's 6-issue run, and then was passed over to Brian Wood writing it, and well, Greg Smallwood taking over the art. But this year is incredible for an artist. I've looked him up on Goodreads and on Amazon, and he hasn't released that many books, and it's sheer unbelievable. I don't know what he has done before drawing comics, but I just can't believe that this is like his 4th or 5th collected work, because it's so perfect. Needless to say, the colors by Jordi Belair. The palette is really reduced, so you know, look at this page. You see the signal color is red. A lot of white, a lot of negative space, and the use of negative space is great by Smallwood. You have like pages like this, which are composed like you know, an exclamation mark, or there is such a big variety of how a page can look in this comic. Every time you turn it, it's something new. And there is diversity, but there is also a very, there is something very concise about it. It never lets you go. You're hooked from the beginning till the end. What is the story about? This is a bit difficult to say, because well, you never know, and you won't know when you're finishing this. This is a little spoiler. If this is happening in a person's mind, or if it's really different action or plot versions of the same story going on in real life. But what I want to tell you is that it's not really about that. You know, there are all those stories where it's about revealing that it was all imagined, or that it's in a person's mind, or is it like it's a split personality and there's the one dominant person and the other ones are not important. This is not this kind of story. It's a story which plays on all those different levels, and there is even like a character saying that even if you're crazy, go for it. Go into your craziness, because through your craziness you can see stuff that other people can't. So even if it's coined crazy from one dimension, looking from one dimension at it, if you believe in it, it's not. If you're in this crazy person's mind, if you're the crazy person and you see stuff that others don't see, for you it's still reality. And this is the the um, the point of view or the position that the author is taking in this story, where a very damaged Mark Spector wakes up in an psychiatry or an asylum for psychically damaged people, and he doesn't know how he got there, and he wants to get out, and everyone tells him, no, you can't get out because you're sick, you're a psychotic person, you have to be treated. And he finds out that, or does he find out? We don't know. He sees those persons in a different light. They look different to him. They look like people who want to take over his reality, his New York home base. They look like servants of a foreign god who's fighting his own god, and his god is Khonshu, an Egyptian god who saved his life, who brought him back from the dead. This is the origin of Moon Knight. So it's a person who died, I think, in Egypt, close to the pyramids, and then this god appears and gives him his new life and his powers. But we never, and it was, this angle was played very often in Moon Knight comics. I mean, I can't say that I'm an expert, that I've read everything. I've sampled stuff over the years, and I always found it to be an interesting twist for a character, for a superhero character. But here I really connected with this immersive experience that is having, and the fact that it's not just like, you know, a thing that he's having from time to time, a little self-doubt or whatever. So it's just that it's a person who's looking for an access to this myriads of potential realities, and he's looking for this, you know, Yggdrasil, the axis of the world, the thing that stabilizes him and his reality. But it's not there. It's not there, and maybe there is none. And this is what this comic is hinting at, that there is not this master reality, and then there are deviants of it. No, there is, everything is pretty relative. It really depends how you look on things. And this is a very interesting and very daring message for a Marvel comic. This is still a superhero comic, and it's written also in a very entertaining way, and it's also a horror adventure comic still, but it becomes very close to philosophical territory here, where it's about, you know, we have this in politics right now, experiencing the mind of someone very different from oneself, and that it's very hard to do it, and that you just claim that you have your reality, and it is like that. You just got the facts wrong, and this is what he's confronted with too by the wards in the mental hospital. But he's like, no, I'm pretty sure, or am I? And he goes on this journey, and this is what Moon Knight Volume 1 is about. It's by Jeff Lemire, who writes like a god here. His rhythm, his pacing, the little reveals, the little twists in the story, the dialogue. I don't know what to say. I know I sound like a crazy person myself, and I had tears in my eyes. I was just because it was so great. I was so touched by it. I was so into it. So it's by Jeff Lemire and Greg Smallwood, colors by Jordi Belair. This is volume 1. It's available now from Marvel Comics. It's $16 which are well spent. And if you like it, you can continue it in single issue format or wait for the next trade. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little weird, but for me very necessary video, because I'm still under the influence. I read it in the morning and I had to think the whole day about it, and why I like it so much, or why it grabbed my thoughts and my feelings so intensely. And it's still hard to formulate, but I hope at least I could you know, maybe you pick it up when you're in the comic shop, give it a shot, you won't be disappointed. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.